The world is full of people who drain us quietly. They smile, laugh, and even seem kind. But beneath that surface, there is a subtle sabotage of your peace, your confidence, your sense of self. You may not notice it at first. You may even blame yourself. But the truth is, these people feed on what they cannot create in themselves: calm, clarity, and self-respect. Every encounter with them leaves a shadow on your energy, an invisible weight you carry long after the conversation ends. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled an empire while remaining devoted to wisdom, understood this danger centuries ago. He knew that the external world, filled with deceit, envy, and manipulation, would constantly test a person's inner strength. He wrote not to condemn, but to guide, teaching that no one has the power to harm you unless you give it. Today, we will explore 11 smart ways to deal with toxic people, not with aggression, not with anger, but with the quiet power of the Stoic mind. Lesson 1. Stop expecting them to change. Imagine a colleague, someone you trust deeply. You share ideas, confide personal thoughts, and hope for reciprocity. Yet, time and again, they undermine you, gossip, or dismiss your contributions. Your first instinct might be frustration, then despair. You ask yourself, why can't they just see what they're doing? But the Stoics remind us, expecting others to act differently than they are is the root of suffering. Marcus Aurelius said, "Accept whatever comes to you, woven in the pattern of your destiny." The moment you release the illusion that someone will suddenly become kind, honest, or respectful, you free yourself from the emotional trap. Practical advice: focus on your own reactions rather than their behavior. Protect your inner calm. Accepting reality does not mean condoning toxicity. It means preserving your peace while navigating it wisely. Emotionally, this is liberating. You begin to see people as they are, not as you wish them to be. The weight lifts from your shoulders, and suddenly life is no longer a battlefield of expectations. Lesson 2. Protect your energy. Have you ever noticed how certain people drain you in minutes, leaving you exhausted, anxious, or angry? They may speak politely, even charmingly, yet every interaction leaves a residue of negativity. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it is a Stoic necessity. Marcus Aurelius urged mindfulness over impulse, telling us that our time and attention are finite. Practical action: set boundaries. Politely decline interactions that leave you depleted. Limit time with individuals who repeatedly take more than they give. This is not cruelty, it is preservation. The mind, like a fortress, must have gates that only allow what serves its strength. Emotionally, this act of self-preservation is empowering. You feel less reactive and more intentional, recognizing that energy is a currency you cannot afford to squander. Each decision to withdraw or step back reinforces your autonomy. Lesson 3. Master the art of silence. Consider the coworker who provokes you, spreading rumors or subtle critiques. Your instinct is to react, to defend yourself, to assert your truth. But the Stoics teach that silence is not weakness, it is mastery. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the power of stillness, reminding himself that words spoken in anger or defensiveness rarely improve a situation. Practical advice: respond only when it matters and when your words are measured. Often the most powerful stance is quiet observation. Let actions speak, let time reveal truth, and let your inner calm be the response. Emotionally, silence allows clarity. Instead of becoming entangled in petty conflicts, you maintain control of your mind. You preserve dignity, and in doing so, demonstrate a strength that others cannot provoke or steal. Pattern interrupt, midway reflection. Pause here for a moment. Toxic people are not merely bad actors in your life, they are mirrors. They reveal the edges of your patience, the weaknesses in your emotional defenses, and the limits of your boundaries. Recognizing this is not despair. It is illumination. By understanding why they affect you, you begin to reclaim control. The next lessons will deepen this mastery, guiding you toward mental resilience and emotional freedom. Lesson 4. Don't take it personally. Picture a friend who subtly belittles your achievements, or a family member who criticizes your choices. Your first reaction might be pain, shame, or anger. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if someone does wrong, it is because they are acting out of ignorance, weakness, or fear. Their actions reflect their character, not yours. Practical advice. When you encounter toxicity, mentally step back. Observe it as a Stoic observer. You are not their target, you are a witness to their struggle. By separating your identity from their behavior, you protect your self-worth. Emotionally, this creates a profound sense of freedom. You no longer absorb, be the barbs of others. Their negativity passes through without leaving a stain on your inner calm. You begin to see a truth Marcus Aurelius lived by. No one can disturb your peace without your consent. Lesson 5. Observe, don't absorb. Imagine a co-worker spreading gossip, trying to provoke anger or jealousy. Most people respond immediately, reacting to the stimuli and absorbing the negative energy. The Stoics, however, teach a different path. Observe without absorbing. Practical advice. Treat toxic behavior as a phenomenon to study, not a weapon to engage. Notice the patterns, the triggers, the manipulations, but do not allow them to penetrate your emotional armor. This is akin to watching a storm from a safe distance. You see the power, but you are not swept away. Emotionally, this detachment allows clarity. You respond strategically instead of impulsively. You are in control even when chaos surrounds you. And in that control lies a quiet, unshakable power. Lesson 6. Limit exposure. Consider a situation where a family member or colleague repeatedly drains you despite your attempts to set boundaries. Sometimes wisdom demands distance. Marcus Aurelius understood that the wise man values his inner tranquility above all external chaos. Practical action. Limit interactions. Avoid unnecessary conversations. Create safe zones for your mind and emotions. Distance is not avoidance. It is a protective strategy that allows you to recharge and maintain composure. Emotionally, limiting exposure can feel difficult at first because humans are social creatures. But the long-term effect is peace. Each step back reinforces self-respect and reinforces your power over your own life. You learn that no one has the right to intrude upon your serenity unless you permit it. Lesson 7. Respond, don't react. Imagine someone insults you publicly. Your instinct screams for a retort, a defense, an argument to prove your value. But the Stoic mind chooses response over reaction. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself, the external world is beyond your control, but your mind remains sovereign. Practical advice. Pause, breathe, assess the situation. Choose your words, tone, and timing carefully. Respond when it serves your purpose, not when emotion drives you. Often, the act of measured calm silences the toxic person more effectively than any confrontation could. Emotionally, this cultivates mastery. You become immune to provocation, and each encounter strengthens your inner discipline. You realize that power lies not in retaliation, but in composure. Pattern interrupt, midpoint insight. Pause for reflection. By this stage, you've already begun to reclaim your mind. You've observed without absorbing, distanced yourself without anger, and responded with intention instead of reaction. Toxic people are formidable not because they are strong, but because most allow them to dictate emotions. You are rewriting that script. The next lessons deepen this mastery. using visualization, self-control, and quiet exits to not just survive toxic interactions, but to thrive despite them. Lesson 8. Use negative visualization. Imagine preparing yourself before a meeting with a particularly difficult person. You anticipate subtle insults, manipulations, and provocations. Most people go in unprepared, and the first slight triggers anger or anxiety. The Stoics had a technique for this: negative visualization. Marcus Aurelius often mentally rehearsed challenges before they occurred, imagining worst-case scenarios so that when reality struck, it did not disturb his calm. Practical advice: before interacting with toxic people, visualize their behavior. Prepare your mind for potential provocations. This is not pessimism, it is armor. By anticipating negativity, you can remain grounded, unaffected by attempts to unsettle you. Emotionally, this builds resilience. You are no longer at the mercy of circumstance. Instead, you meet toxicity with foresight, a quiet power that prevents emotional hijacking. Lesson 9. Focus on self-control. Consider a moment when someone pushes your buttons. They may attack, insult, or provoke you relentlessly. Your first instinct is to lash out, to demand justice. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the ultimate victory is mastery over oneself. External events are fleeting, but the mind is sovereign. Practical action: strengthen your self-control. Pause before speaking, reflect before acting, discipline your emotions. Respond in a way that aligns with your values, not the chaos around you. Emotionally, this is liberating. You realize that while you cannot control others, you can govern your inner state. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to practice patience, resilience, and measured strength. Lesson 10. Walk away without drama. Picture a conversation that escalates, a relationship that consistently drains you. Often the Stoic choice is simple yet profound: exit quietly. Marcus Aurelius teaches that sometimes the most powerful action is removal, not confrontation. Walking away without drama preserves your dignity and sanity. Practical advice: know when the interaction no longer serves you. Leave calmly, without accusation or public spectacle. Let your departure speak louder than any argument. Your peace is your power. Emotionally, this is a profound statement of autonomy. By leaving without chaos, you maintain control and avoid entanglement in needless conflict. You affirm that your life is yours, and no one can hijack it. Lesson 11. Become untouchable. Mentally. Finally, imagine reaching a state where toxicity cannot penetrate you at all. Marcus Aurelius did not fear betrayal, insult, or manipulation because he trained his mind to remain steadfast. He knew that true power lies in internal freedom. Practical advice: cultivate mental resilience daily. Practice mindfulness, reflection, and Stoic meditation. Repeated exposure to minor irritations handled with composure gradually builds an impervious inner fortress. Emotionally, this is ultimate liberation. Toxic people can exist, but they cannot disturb you. Their attempts to provoke, belittle, or manipulate are irrelevant. You are untouchable because your peace is cultivated internally, independent of external chaos. Conclusion. Reflective closing. Toxic people are not the architects of your misery. You are. Only by surrendering your peace to them do they gain power. Marcus Aurelius taught that the mind is sovereign, that your inner world is a fortress no one can breach unless you allow it. By applying these 11 lessons, releasing expectations, protecting your energy, mastering silence, observing without absorbing, limiting exposure, responding with control, using visualization, cultivating self-discipline, walking away, and ultimately becoming mentally untouchable, you reclaim your life. You rise above chaos, unaffected by manipulation, envy, or deceit. The path is not easy, and mastery takes time, but each step strengthens you. Each moment of composure is a victory. Each interaction handled with calm reinforces your sovereignty. Remember, true freedom is not about avoiding toxic people. It is about becoming so rooted, so resilient, that they cannot touch the essence of who you are. Carry this wisdom forward, live intentionally, and let the calm power of Stoicism guide your path through a world that often tests us, challenges us, and tempts us to lose our peace.